were unable to rebut the legal presumption that a child aged 13 and under is incapable of committing a criminal offence, a high legal threshold that means proving the child knew their conduct was seriously morally wrong.
Every matter is different. With every victim, with every offender.
Police had alleged the girl's search history included Googling how long the sentence is for running someone over.
If you're old enough to be able to Google the punishment, then you should be certainly old enough to take the punishment.
The cyclist who was hit agrees.
When it comes to weaponising a vehicle and intentionally trying to kill someone, I think that veil of protection needs to be lifted.
Despite the obvious community outrage about this case, the government continues to maintain the action it's taking on youth crime is working.
I think this young person will be laughing at Victoria and our legal system right now.
Heidi Murphy, 9 News.
100 charges dropped because she's too young to know right from wrong.
The girl was twice declared too dangerous for bail, but now is free. State political reporter Heidi Murphy.
Put on the spot, the Premier in deflection mode.
I've not been briefed on that matter.
The matter of how a now 14-year-old girl charged over this anti-Semitic attack in Ripponlea during a 2-month crime spree has had her slate wiped clean. Of the 109 charges she was facing, including multiple car thefts, dangerous driving and repeatedly committing an indictable offence while on bail.
That behaviour is far from in line with community expectations.
But
A Melbourne girl facing more than 100 charges has been let off scot-free because her lawyer says she's too young to understand the consequences of her actions. Police say she terrorised the Jewish community in Ripponlea and deliberately ran down a cyclist with a stolen car.
Mowed down on his bike, cyclist David is still recovering from a brain injury.
I spent a couple of days in Alfred. I was sort of left with a little bit of cognitive impairment.
2 months ago, he was riding on St Kilda Street, Brighton, and was slammed by a stolen car, the then 13-year-old girl allegedly behind the wheel.
I was just hunted down. They made a few attempts to knock me over and then, eventually just completely ran me over.
This was allegedly the same teenager too, caught on camera terrorising the Jewish community.
They were saying, yeah, you're Jews, you, go back to your country. Fair, I'm not from here. We're going to kill you all.
And driving erratically at Jewish pedestrians. Court evidence revealing she had searched on her phone, where do Jewish people live? The fact this teen is now back on the streets, seen as a frightening reflection of our society.
It speaks to a greater problem in society when you have people this young forming this level of hatred towards their Jewish friends and neighbours.
The girl's lawyer managed to convince Victoria Police prosecutors that there was too strong a case for the legal principle of dolly incapax, meaning the accused was not mature enough to understand the consequences of her actions. The charges were withdrawn because the police prosecution was unable to rebut the legal presumption that a child aged 13 and under is incapable of committing a criminal offence.
Will you do anything about that legal threshold?
So I will do everything to toughen consequences for young offenders to deal with the new types of offending that we are seeing.
David says he's case in point.
I think with violent crimes like weaponising a vehicle and intentionally running someone over, it needs to be sort of taken away from that protection of the law.
Laura Turner, 7 News.
That this child deliberately tried to run down members of the Jewish community and Googled how long the sentence is for running someone over after deliberately hitting, allegedly, a cyclist. And I'm about to speak to that cyclist with the door of a stolen car in Brighton on March 30. He was left with a brain bleed from which he is still recovering. Yesterday, the prosecution withdrew 109 charges against this 14-year-old in the Children's Court. Hunted down, Dave, that's how you felt and that's what happened.
Yeah, it was disgusting, to be fair. I think I spoke to someone recently and used the term that it was pure evil behind the wheel of that car, and it wasn't it certainly wasn't going to stop until they got their desired outcome.
We were heckled a couple of times by this group of girls in a car. Could see they had hoodies on and heavily made up. Saw them clearly. They rolled down the window and said, "Are you Jewish?" We ignored them, kept walking, and they came back around, did a U-turn on Glenara Road and drove over an embankment at the street corner and onto the footpath, onto the grass, and literally kept going towards us. We were standing on the corner of a street. We literally ran to put bricks between us and the car, but behind a fence. We thought, as Dave said, she was pure evil. She just looked at us and kept going. And then when we heard that this incident had happened with Dave shortly after, we were not surprised at all. Like, this girl's still on the road.